Ever stared at a wall of messy JavaScript hunting for that tiny error that's breaking everything in your program? We've all been there, but in this video, we're gonna go through the best tools and extensions you must have that makes your code cleaner, easier to read, and way easier to debug. Stick around because in this guide, we're going to save you hours of frustration. So this is where you can download Visual Studio Code in your computer, whether you're using Windows, Linux, or Mac. This is the link of this page, and I actually left you a link in the description below. Now we're going to explain the Visual Studio Code interface. If you are confident with Visual Studio Code, you can skip to the next chapter. After you downloaded Visual Studio Code, now let's see what all these buttons do. First, in the top, you see there is a bar. Let's start with the left-hand side. Left-hand side, after the logo, you can see there is a tab called File. In that tab, you can manage files. You can create a file, a folder, and you can open windows. And then you got a tab called Edit. In the Edit tab, you can edit those files. Cut, copy, paste, and others. Then you got a Selection tab, where you can select lines or sections. And then you got the View, where you can edit the view, maybe the appearance, and the layout. And there is a Go tab. That means go to File, go to Symbol, and others in here you can find right here. And then there is Run tab, where you can run debugging or run the file. And then you got the terminal. You can open the terminal inside Visual Studio Code. And there is the Help tab under the terminal that you can, if you got a problem, you can check everything in here, and that might fix your issue. And on the right hand side, it's just some buttons that open some bars. Maybe this one opens the chat, and this one opens the terminal, maybe this one opens the Explorer, and others. Now on the left hand side, you got 5 tabs on the top and 2 on the bottom. The 2 ones in the bottom, one of them is the settings and the other one is the account, where you can manage accounts and you can customize your layout, and everything you need to customize you can find in this manage tab. And then on the top 5 tabs on the top left, the first one is the Explorer, where you can explore or navigate through your files and folders. And then you got the source control. If you got a GitHub project, you can edit that project visually or graphically in that tab. Then you got the search, where you can search for files and do some functions with it, maybe a replace or something. And then you got the run and debug. If you got a file that you want to debug it or run, you will use that tab. And then the Extensions tab. In the Extensions tab, you can have more functions, more features on top of the Visual Studio Code features. Those features is created by people, maybe ESLint created by somebody, GitHub created by somebody, and a lot more. And then you got the bottom one. The bottom one is really easy. It just shows you the extensions that is being used right now. Maybe a JavaScript file. The current extensions that's working is Live Server, JavaScript, and another. This is just some information about this file. And actually, the Prettier is working right now. The best extensions that I personally use in Visual Studio Code. One of them is ESLint. It's a JavaScript open source tool created in 2013. It's implemented in your code to help in improving its quality and style due to its rules that can be edited in the configuration file. So let's install ESLint in our code editor. So we've got to run this command first in our terminal. But first, before you do anything, you got to run the you got to have the package.json file. So to have the package.json file, you got to do this: package name, code, version, description. No need to entry point. That's command. Okay. Yes. And everything's working fine, and we got our package.json file. So now let's install ESLint. So we're going to run npx ESLint init, and it should work now. I'm using JavaScript. Check everything, and I'm not using React or any of these stuff. Using the browser. Would like to install now? Yes, please. I'm using npm. Okay, so it's installing the node modules file, which is the node.js file, and the ESLint configuration.mgs. So here you can manage the configurations or the rules of the file. Okay. Now, when I use index.js file, maybe let's run some code. Let my useless variable to be equal to a string called useless. There is nothing wrong with my code, but here, as you can see, I'm going to close that. Remove unused variable. So this is made by ESLint. This is not an error. So just to prove everything, I'm going to open a new window, and just going to create a useless file. Maybe I'm going to call it. Let's select the language using JavaScript. Go to make everything that I'm going just to copy this code and use it in the same in the other window with no ESLint. And as you can see, no errors, no stuff. Even after I save, there's nothing there. No errors, nothing is wrong. But with ESLint, if you have a code that a variable that's not used, it's going to show an error. So to fix it, click that bulb right there and remove unused variable, which is this one, new use vars. Okay, so it fixed it and removed the whole variable. But what if I just logged that variable into my console? So no need for that, my useless variable, and no errors, everything's working fine. So this is what ESLint looks like, and what do we use it? Why do we use it? Okay, so now let's hop into the next exciting extension. Our next extension is called a live server. Live server extension is a Visual Studio Code extension that launches a local development server with live reload capability. It's especially useful for web development with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, let's install the live server extension. Just like the previous steps, we got to open the extensions tab and search for live server. And you will see it just right there, just live server, and make sure it's made with Ritwick Day. Got to install the extension and enable it. Just let's put it on the test. Going to open that HTML file. I'm going to press go live. And as you can see, this is my document or my HTML file. Prettier. It's a code formatter that keeps your code clean and consistent. It supports many languages like JavaScript, HTML, and Markdown, and works with most editors. Once set up, it automatically formats your code to save time and avoid style issues. To install Prettier, you got to go to that Extensions tab right into the side menu and search for Prettier and make sure it's Prettier-Code Formatter. After you install it and enable it, just to check if everything is working fine, you got to open in a JS file or a CSS file, and down there you're supposed to see a tab called Prettier. With all these tools in hand, you're ready to write cleaner code, but sometimes things don't work as expected. That's where JavaScript debugging comes in. In this chapter, I will show you the most effective ways to find and fix issues in your code with clarity and control. So as an example, I made a calculator app. In this app, we take two numbers and we choose the method and we calculate them and show the result in that output. Okay, so I don't know what's wrong. I'm gonna check if everything's working right, and it's not. It's showing some random results, and it's not always accurate. I want to know what is the problem. So in this case, we use debugging. Debugging is a way to check the state and to check the issues and how to fix them. So as an example, I'm going to console.log our values, num1 and console.log num2. This is our values we use in this function. So I'm going to check our console and I'm going to make a simple calculation just like this, and it's showing that the values are there. So now the next part is to check the type of our values. Type of number 1 and type of number 2. And when I go to the console and make a simple calculation, shows me that these numbers are string. And this is a common mistake we make, and it took me 3 full steps to check and to figure out what is going on. And the way number 2 is much easier. The way number 2 is the debugger keyword. Just gonna disable the no debugger. Sorry, ESLint, but I gotta use it, and I'm going to make a simple calculation. So what is the difference? Why we use debugger other than the console.log thing? Oh, this is the difference. The debugger pauses the site, pauses the execution. So you can see the state, your values, everything, and you just figured it out. The number 1 and the number 2 are a string. So there is much other features. You can start, resume, and step over next function call. Just like that. That's why the debugger keyword method is recommended. Easier and faster. It's gonna save you much time. So just figure it out. So how to fix it? Just gonna make it a number num1 and number num2, and let's gonna make another calculation method, and as you can see, no need for a debugger. Just gonna resume. Oh, the result is fine and everything is working fine. Just gonna copy that and apply to other the other methods. In this chapter, I will walk you through the VS Code shortcuts that can save time
boost focus and seriously level up your workflow. Whether you're building your first project or refining your 10th, these are the little habits that make a big difference.
One of the best shortcuts you should use is the multi-line edit. So as an example, I'm going to create 5 divs. Each div contains a header and a paragraph. In this case, I'm not going to go through each div, and every div I'm going to insert a header and a paragraph. In that case, I'm going to press Alt and click through all the lines I would like to edit at the same time. So just to make it work like that, and I'm going to create a header saying this is my header, and then I would like to create a paragraph that says this is my paragraph, and that's it. And if you want more life-saving shortcuts like the multi-line edit, there is a PDF I'll left you right in the description below, made by Visual Studio Code. Just choose 5 or 10 you found useful and use them while you're coding.
Before you go, I just wanted to say, wherever you are on your coding journey, I hope this video made things a little clearer and left you feeling more confident. If it sparked something or simply made your day easier, I'd be glad to have you stick around. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss what's next. Until then, keep learning, keep building, and always remember to unlock your coding potential.